me?
Yeah.
George did ask me today whether he could go to Paris, Brussels and Venice and things like that, and I said I didn't think that would be wise, but that I thought that I would ask you what you thought about that.
But that's to do with freedom of choice again.
Yes, I think all I can say to you is that it will be, I would think, very difficult for you to manage that kind of travel.
Why?
Because of your frailty and your mobility.
George, you now ask for help, someone to be with you on the stairs.
Yes.
And you haven't yet made any plan to go to Brussels or Paris or
No,
anything.
but I might want to, because I'm very fond of both cities. And I've many friends there who I'll never see again, really.
Right.
I like to say, to quote Groucho Marx, which I'm going to have on my new album, "Hello, I must be going."
We none of us know when it's going to be. But the not knowing thing is quite hard, isn't it? But I know what I can plan for. I can plan for the next 2 away gigs, and I can plan for the local gigs, because that'll be easy, and plan for the grandchildren to come round, and and then I must tell people if they'd like to see George, they better come before the end of the summer. Yeah.
I'm the last rose.
The last rose of summer, are you?
Your parents died about
Make sure I've got your bag. Yes, got your bag.
For over 40 years, George and Diana have kept a country bolt hole, a place for the family to spend holidays and for George to fish and escape the hubbub of the jazz world. 18 months ago, George reluctantly hung up his rods. It's now a place where Diana comes to spend time on her own.
I feel a mixture of shock. I feel quite numb, and I often feel very upset. And I don't quite know what to do with myself. I found George really quite hard to tolerate when he was sort of being sort of very full of himself and bouncy and sort of so pleased with himself and sort of drunk, and I found that really quite hard. I didn't find it hard when he became ill. It might not be admirable of me to think that, but also it's perfectly understandable. I mean, living with people who have larger-than-life personalities and huge egos and who are adored by everyone, why should that be easy to live with? It isn't.
Oh, look. You haven't done
Shock horror.
How disgusting.
You're disgusting.
Good health, good health.
Good health.
Yachidala. Do you know what they say that?
No.
Wales?
Oh, well, of course, yeah.
Yachidala sounds a bit Welsh, doesn't it?
Sounds pretty Welsh.
That's in. I can hear you mostly now, if you want to say anything.
I do. Where are you heading, George?
What?
Where are you going now?
I'm going to be have my hair cut. That's right, isn't it?
That's correct.
With Diana off duty and George visibly more confused, his old friend Michael Woods has stepped in as chaperone.
Oh, there he is, number 21.
Oh, yes.
Your friend. Thanks. This one? George. This one, yeah. That's it.
Yeah, what I need, I'll say. I want a really radical haircut.
He wants a radical haircut. A minor Tony Curtis.
Well. He's the man who makes me get up both my damn...
George may have come in looking somewhat dishevelled, but is clearly relishing his transformation in the barber's chair. And I start to get a sense of the man who could once hold millions on the telly.
Beard.
Miles Kington once described his style as being, and I quote, outrageous, tender, boozy, and compulsive.
It was George's legendary suits and outrageous revelations about his life that made him a chat show favourite for 3 decades.
But I mean, what's the most drunk that you've ever been on the stage?
Well, out under a piano, really.
Were you out? I mean, were you spark out?
Yes, I passed out.
Or were you attempting to sing from a prone position?
I sang on the way down. I more or less stopped when I bit the parquet. Yes.
You've changed, of course, from being homosexual to being heterosexual.
On a guess.
Right. I know you're right. Yes.
No, I have, actually.
But I mean, what converted you? Was it the love of a good woman or what?
No, I wouldn't say love of a good woman, love of several bad ones.
But the sight of a fat Jewish Liverpudlian singing suggestive black jazz made George truly memorable.
Hot nuts. See, the man is big and fat. They say that his nuts are no bigger than that. Singing nuts. Hot nuts. Get around the peanut man. Nuts. Talk about nuts. Oh, get around the peanut man. Yes, nuts. Nuts. Hot nuts. You better get him when you can. See, the man has had his ball. Hasn't got the nuts at all. Singing nuts. Get around a peanut man, yes, yes. Get around a peanut man, well, now. Get around a peanut man, man. Get around a peanut man, yes.
The eldest of a family of 3, George's flamboyance and love of performance was on stage from early childhood, as his younger sister Andre remembers.
George was certainly, he was always utterly uninhibited. He's just an absolute extrovert. And I've never known another one. I've really never known another, I may be wrong, but an utter extrovert.
Every year, George, his siblings and family friends would perform in comedy sketches known as the Melly versions.
Hello, darling.
Hello.
Hello.
I don't know how good they were. Were they any good, those Melly versions?
The many versions, I think they were probably hysterically funny.
Well, you did the sets and wrote the script. Didn't write it, we were just told what to say. You had the best part.
Composed the best songs.
Yes, and...
At Coniston, for instance.
Oh, yes, that was wonderful.
I wrote a song,
yeah,
which I remember to this day.
Which goes something like this.
Goes exactly like this, not something like. You go to bonny Scotland with its Birmingham plateaus. My mother used to croon to me over my Quaker oats. You could not undo a sausage. You could not undo a coo.
What was the coo when it was out?
Coo. You could not undo a wee granny naught. That is tied by wee granny McNoo.
Okay. All right. Very
Yes.
hot.
I'm simplifying my life.
Yes, I see. Very good. I'm going to let you sleep.
Thank you. I hate you going away, but there we are.
Okay. Okay. Have a good kip. Take care. He had such a big personality. It was almost, exhausting. He filled the room, and you felt kind of bombarded by this big personality. And it's diminishing, it's shrinking and shrinking. And although that's in a funny way a kind of relief, because there was almost no room for anybody else, But now it also seems very sad in a funny way to see him sort of shrinking like that.
It's some time before I next see George. When I turn up at the house, I find him having his portrait taken by Michael Woods in the garden.
one of you just sniffing